Well, hello again. It is I, Mitch, and we are back with a new list featuring the top 10 longest games with campaign hours. These are the games which you can enjoy for long times in their single-player campaigns, mostly. We have sorted the list in descending order of their play hours. Without more delays, let's start with our first game. Coming in at number 1, Monster Hunter World. This is an action role-playing game where the player takes the role of a hunter, tasked to hunt down and either kill or trap monsters that roam in one of the several environmental spaces. If successful, the player is rewarded through the loot consisting of parts from the monster and other elements that are used to craft weapons and armor, amongst other equipment. The game's core loop has the player crafting appropriate gear to be able to hunt down more difficult monsters, which in turn provide parts that lead to more powerful gear. Players may hunt alone or in a group of up to 4 players via the game's online multiplayer. This game offers about 48 hours of main campaign, and to completely finish the game, it can take up to 380 hours. Coming in at number 2, Animal Crossing: New Horizons. A life simulation game where the player controls a character who moved to a deserted island after purchasing a getaway package from Tom Nook. Playing the game in a non-linear fashion and developing the island as you choose. The main campaign can take around 60 hours, where you can gather and craft items, customize the island, and form it into a community of anthropomorphic animals. The players are given open access to natural resources, such as fruits and wood, which can be collected and crafted into a variety of items and furniture. Alongside this, you can catch bugs and fish, plant and grow trees and flowers, extract natural resources such as rocks, swim in the ocean, and eventually are given the option to alter the terrain of the island directly. All of this combines for a huge 360 hours of gameplay. Coming in at number 3, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. An action-adventure RPG game where the player controls Link, who awakens from a 100-year slumber to defeat the calamity Ganon and save the kingdom of Hyrule. Players are given little instruction and can explore the world freely. Tasks including collecting various items and gear to aid in objectives, such as puzzle solving or side quests. The world is unstructured and designed to encourage exploration and experimentation. The main story quest can be completed in a non-linear fashion. The main story has a gameplay of about 50 hours. As Link, players can perform actions such as running, climbing, swimming, and gliding with the paraglider, although Link is limited by his stamina. Overall, the game offers about 188 hours of gameplay, including side quests and challenges. Coming in at number 4, The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. This is an action role-playing game based on the Witcher series of fantasy novels written by Andrzej Sapkowski. The game takes place in a fictional fantasy world based on the Slavonic mythology. Players control Geralt of Rivia, a monster slayer for hire known as a Witcher, and search for his adopted daughter, who is on the run from the otherworldly Wild Hunt. Players battle the game's many dangers with weapons and magic, interact with non-player characters, and complete quests to acquire experience points and gold, which are used to increase Geralt's abilities and purchase equipment. The game's story, which alone is about 51 hours long, has 3 possible endings, determined by the player's choices at key points in the narrative. The game offers a long 175 hours of gameplay with all the side quests and expansions. Coming in at number 5, Red Dead Redemption 2. An action-adventure game set in 1899 in a fictionalized representation of the Western, Midwestern, and Southern United States. And it follows outlaw Arthur Morgan's story, who is a member of the Vanderlyn Gang. The game is presented through both first and third-person perspectives, and the player may freely roam in its interactive open world. The game's unexploited land makes up the largest portion of the game world, and features diverse landscapes with occasional travelers, bandits, and wildlife. Gameplay elements include shootouts, heists, hunting, horseback riding, interacting with non-player characters, and maintaining the character's honor rating through moral choices and deeds. The game has an average of 50 hours of gameplay, and completing all the side quests and other challenges can add up to 172 hours of gameplay. Coming in at number 6, Persona 5. This is yet another role-playing video game, but with one of the longest stories, with a gameplay of about 97 hours. The game is placed in modern-day Tokyo and follows a high school student known as the pseudonym Joker, who transfers to a new school after being falsely accused of assault and put on probation. Over the course of a school year, he and other students awaken to a special power, becoming a group of secret vigilantes known as the Phantom Thieves of Hearts. They explore the metaverse, a supernatural realm born from humanity's subconscious desires, to steal malevolent intent from the hearts of adults. You can battle enemies known as shadows, using physical manifestations of your character's psyche, known as their personas. The game is governed by a day-night cycle and weather systems that determine general behavior similar to a social simulation game. Overall, the game takes around 170 hours to completely finish the game. Coming in at number 7, Stardew Valley. It's a simulation role-playing video game where the players take the role of a character who takes over their deceased grandfather's dilapidated farm in a place known as Stardew Valley. The game is open-ended, allowing players to take on activities such as growing crops, raising livestock, crafting goods, mining for ores, selling produce, and socializing with townspeople, including marriage and having children. It also allows up to 3 other players to play together online. Players may select from several different farm types, each with a unique theme and different benefits and drawbacks. The game offers about 52 hours of story gameplay that may expand up to 150 hours to completely finish the game. Coming in at number 8, Divinity: Original Sin 2. This is a role-playing video game set in the fantasy world of Rivellon, centuries after Divinity: Original Sin. The game has a massive 58 hours of main campaign. In the game, players are able to create a custom character and choose their stats, race, gender, and origin story at the start of the game. Unlike the original game, players are also given the possibility to create an undead character of one of the available races. They can recruit up to 3 companions to assist them, although mods in the Steam Workshop exist which increase the maximum number of party companions. Companions in your party are fully playable and will potentially have different interactions with the environment and NPCs than the player character. The game is around 146 hours long if considering all the side missions and achievements. Coming in at number 9, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. One of the longest open-world RPGs. The game has an average of 57 hours of story gameplay that can extend up to 133 hours with expansions and challenges. The game is set in 873 AD and recounts an alternative history of the Viking invasion of Britain. The player can choose either male or a female character and is able to customize hair, war paint, clothing, armor, and tattoos. The variety of weapons available to the player has been expanded to include weapons such as flails and greatswords. Combat has been changed to allow dual wielding of almost any weapon, including shields, and every piece of gear that the player collects is unique. There is more focus on the stealth aspects for both traversing the game world and in combat. Coming in at number 10, Octopath Traveler. It is another role-playing game praised for its unique graphics and art style. The players follow the stories of 8 heroes as they journey through Orstera Ophelia, a cleric of the Sacred Flame who undertakes a religious pilgrimage. Each character comes from different parts of the world, each of which determines their job or attribute. Each character has a unique path action command that can be used when interacting with NPCs that are divided into two categories. Noble, the ability's effectiveness is dependent by the character's level or amount of in-game currency, and Rogue, which has a risk of its user losing credibility upon other NPCs. This game has a lengthy 60 hours of main campaign, and for the complete experience, it can take up to 102 hours of gameplay time. And that completes our list of longest games in campaign hours. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button. Also, consider subscribing to us to see more videos like this in the future. See you next time. Bye.